when we're walking into a hornet's nest, a maroon, it's kind of like a hoagie-higgy.
That's what I was about to say.
What happens is a maroon is a smallish yet large animal in which
Smallish yet large.
which will climb trees, but yet is apparently nocturnal in that it comes out though during the day as well as night, because what it will do is hunt its prey, and
So it's omniternal.
Also, it is red.
Kind of the darkest red color.
So, and we'll have an explanation of that on Friday night. All right, so talking about, again, a very dangerous George Wythe team. A lot of speed, has got the guys sort of attested to. Quarterback is Cole Simmons. He is a senior, 6'1", 170-pounder. You talk about he and Ravon Wells. Running back, a lot of speed between those two because they do a lot of the run-pass options. You'll see them spread out. They want to spread you out and, again, take advantage of those running lanes. We saw that against some of the teams, especially earlier in the season, Richlands and South whenever they wasn't in the Wildcat. Also, you're going to have to watch out for Devon Tillison, wide out, as well as Brandon Thompson. Those are two juniors. They really stretch the field. So, Chris, we've talked about this weeks gone by. The defense, the secondary of Gate City has to play well, and they're going to have to play extremely well if we're going to be able to, again, take out George Wythe on Friday.
Yeah, I think they're going to need to tighten up and not give those cushions. When they've done that, when they've given these large cushions on the receivers, that's kind of allowed these completions and it's allowed the teams to march down the field. My big concern, though, is if you play them tight and then get burnt, you're going to give up a deep pass. So that's why I'm not the coach.
As you said, they give them cushions because they don't want to get beat deep. But this is a team that run after the catch, they kind of live on. So we're going to have to make sure we make good, solid tackles on offense. As Coach said, when we were not beating ourselves, getting in third and long, we did extremely well on Friday night, driving the football against, probably the most physical team we've seen in Union.
Well, I think Calhoun was only hit once for negative yardage. I think every time else he picked up at least 2 or 3 yards every time, and a couple of times 20 yards.
When we take a look at this schedule for George Wythe, this is a team mostly of sophomores and freshmen. They do have some skill, but they're not as deep as some of the teams we've seen over the last couple of weeks. A Ridgeview, a Union. So if we can maybe take advantage of that, it's going to be a cool night. Friday night, I think the low's going to be in the upper 40s for the first time. Of course, holding on to the football, ball security. We talk about the number of turnovers. Usually the highest is in week 1 and week 6. Week 1 against Richlands, we had some fumbles. This is week 6. Again, the first time, like I said, there'll be dew on the ground, possibly some, with that. So, be interesting to see. So, now you will be off on Friday. You've got an obligation. You want to talk to the folks and tell them where you'll be?
Well, I'm not sure yet. That's to be determined.
Ooh.
Our exchange student, that's her last night, so I felt like I needed to stay with her. I have heard some talk. I believe she's kind of gotten turned on to American football. There might be the possibility that I'm going to wind up driving her and my daughter down to Jefferson County.
Ooh, okay.
Nothing's set in stone yet. I don't know. We may wind up. I don't know. It's kind of up in the air at this point. We're going to kind of let her decide what she wants to do.
So you'll be keeping up international relations.
I'll be maintaining international while you're maintaining international relations in Whitfield.
And Whitfield. So again, appreciate you, Chris, for all that you do. And of course, it's a great opportunity. Like I said, to your daughter. It's programmed through Dobbins Bennett and how that.
There's some foundation that sets this up, and what's happened is. There were some German students from Dobbins Bennett that had the opportunity back in the spring to go to Germany for a couple of weeks. And now the German students are coming to Dobbins Bennett, but there were more students from Berlin coming here than the other way around. So my daughter was taking French, so they kind of used that as the overflow. And I thought it would be a good opportunity, and we really enjoyed it. It's been fun. laughed at each other, trying to pronounce words in each other's languages, and we've had some pretty good cultural discussions.
So she flies back to Berlin.
Actually, they're going to New York City for a week. As she put it, this is their 2-week fall holiday.
Oh, wow.
So that started this week. So they're going to take a week in New York and just be tourists and sightsee. Then they fly back to Berlin from there.
Gotcha. Well, we'll miss you, like I said, but we will be on the air 6 o'clock from George Wythe High School again up in
I'll be
Wytheville.
listening.
So, and hopefully, if things work out, maybe if you're at the ball game, we can have a dual broadcast, live reports from Jeff County.
Just hit me up, text me, I'll call you up.
So anyway, but again, want to say thank you to everybody listening. Of course, probably be the farthest road trip of the regular season for Gate City. So again, if you're not going to make the trip, make sure to listen to us there. We'll be on the air 6 o'clock on Friday night with the James River Visors pregame show. Get you all the way up till 7 o'clock till kickoff. Of course, then at halftime we'll have the Campus Drive-In halftime show, scores, highlights from the first half as well as from around the region. And then, of course, we'll wrap things up again from Wytheville on Friday night. Halfway through the season, Chris, your thoughts as we sign off, thoughts of the first half of the season for Gate City and for football in general?
One word that pops into my mind with Gate City, and I said this last Friday night, improvement. It's night and day from last year. If anyone listening has been on the fence about whether or not to come watch these boys, come out. It's like I said, if you went to games last year and you see this basically the same team this year, you're going to be really surprised at the intensity that they're having, the effort they're putting out. I like what I'm seeing.
Great group of guys, great coaches, and again, like I said, the fans have been great. Talk about even at like Ridgeview and Union, the road games. We've had a packed. Richlands start the season was pretty packed. So, and again, want to say thank you. We're still averaging over 2,000 listeners every single broadcast. We want to say thank you. We're in different countries. We may have some Gate City Sports Radio audio in German.
Yeah.
We may have it in some Spanish as well coming up the next broadcast. So,
Muy bueno.
El todos los maravillosos premios for all those out there.
You lost me.
So, with that being said, again, we do thank you for everybody. I want to say again, thank you one more time. Caitlin Parton, Suzanne Moore, Coach Housewright, the players that came out with us. Again, we want to say thank you to everybody for making us a part of your Wednesday. We will be back on the air on Friday night. For Mr. Carr, this is Joe Carter. You're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.